Endocrinology is the study of hormones. Hormones are tiny little peptides that are produced through a normal DNA transcription into proteins. And these proteins that have special roles in the body are all coordinating the relationship between your vastly different ecosystems and organ systems. If we think of the gut and the gut lining and its relationship to the liver or your immune system or the neurologic system, if we think of your kidneys and their role in detoxification of deep cells within the body, whether it was the fat cells or the vascular compartments or the central nervous system, all of these coordinate through this incredible communication network of the endocrine or hormonal systems. There's an extraordinary relationship that is inseparable between the brain and the endocrine system. This occurs through the hypothalamus at the center of the head and its little tiny stalk that communicates down into the first gland, which is the pituitary. That master gland then controls everything from your ovaries or testicles to your thyroid, to your adrenal glands and beyond. That gland is getting the information from the brain, which ultimately is just a central processing unit to understand what is the greater environment around you. And so ultimately the endocrine system coordinates your response to your environment. It's nothing more than that. And so in the end, despite my excitement about getting into the field of endocrinology, I find that in the end I only understand our responsiveness to threat or to opportunity in the environment. And it's no more the answer to how the body works than any other human biologic system. There's something bigger driving the endocrine system and its relationship to the greater environment. That thing must be called life itself. I still, after seeing so many patients die in the ICUs and the bone marrow transplant units and in the halls of hospitals around the country, and ultimately in their homes as a hospice doctor, I can tell you that I'm no closer to understanding this magic and this miracle of life itself. It supersedes the endocrine system. It supersedes any of those narrow organ systems and their functions. Life itself is larger and deeper purpose than this responsive endocrine system. And so if I or your doctor continue to limit your concept of health by some definition of a few endocrine hormones, your thyroid hormone, your estrogen, your progesterone, your testosterone levels, if we keep trying to define you by these very few variables, we are missing the mark in being a part of your great solution and trajectory towards optimal health. The story is much deeper and more profound than these few hormones. We know that there are 4,000 different peptides that have hormonal action throughout the body. Most of these carry no name to them. We do not even know how to categorize them yet. We don't know where they come from yet. It's only in the last few years that we've realized how the bone in your body is probably your largest endocrine organ in regard to both volume and variety of hormones that come out of it. The bone, the scaffold of your body, the largest endocrine organ, this is an example of how little we really understand the vast ecosystem of your body. But no matter how vast and complicated, it is nowhere near defining life itself. So I want you to, in your own life, make sure you're not being limited by some functional medicine model of not enough thyroid, that's why you're fatigued, not enough testosterone and estrogen, that's why you're aging. No, the story is much bigger than that. The story has much more to do with, are you connected to your nature or not? Because ultimately nature is the manifestation of life. If you find yourself declining and decaying at a rate that seems abnormal to those around you, you can bet you are, because we are not supposed to degrade and decline. We're supposed to plateau in our optimal health and live a full experience in this life, and then decline in an appropriate fashion that our focus would become more on wisdom than productivity in those last decade or so of our life. And so I want you to look beyond the endocrine system. Look into your life to say, why are you here? What's your purpose? What makes you find joy and energy in the environment around you? Engage that part of life. Do not let the doctors in our endocrine systems eclipse your belief in your potential, your definition of wellness or disorder or disease. The endocrine system is just a small piece of the manifestation of life around us. I'm excited to have transformed myself beyond my endocrinology expertise to really start to see myself as a doctor of nature, a doctor of life within the ecosystems around us, to copy and mimic the template of life that we see in a leaf or a flower or a butterfly. These are the beauties that I think have the real secrets that we could really understand how life and lifestyle should look to achieve optimal health.